pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I almost feel like I should say amen after that. I don't know. All right. First thing on the agenda is to open the asphalt spot repair bids. Okay, do you go
That was his certificate of insurance. They forgot to put it in the envelope, but I just.
Yep, that goes with that. Okay.
Should be a total of 10 packages.
10? Okay. Did you have criteria that was put on there?
No, just, yeah, there is, 2 inches, it's all in there.
Okay. Six on 52nd, 1 on 64th, and 3 on South Hollywood?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, let's see, yeah, 1 on 64th, 3 on 52nd,
6 on
6
52nd.
on, and then 3 on,
Hollywood.
Hollywood,
Yep.
okay.
had to think.
So wait a minute.
And we're doing the
I know the
shouldering?
3 on Hollywood is.
Yeah, we can do the show. I usually have them leave a little windrow there, just, you know, we
Okay.
pull it back in.
Okay, this one does not include shouldering, and it's for what I just said, 6 on 52nd, 1 on 64th, and 3 on South Hollywood.
And
This
once
one,
again, shouldering's not important, because they're taking 2 inches off, they can leave a little windrow there, these guys can pull it back.
these guys can do it, yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Okay, this includes removing gravel from patches to grade. It doesn't include over excavation of sub-base if the poor soil conditions are encountered, but they shouldn't be because they're existing,
No.
okay. So I have 23,700, and that's for a thickness of 2 inches, and this is from American Asphalt.
So what was that number, 23,000?
This one's pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
This is from B&B, boy, it is. Dig out 10 road patches and replace with 2 inches of hot mix asphalt for the sum of 12,200. Why the big difference? This is all it says. That's kind of vague, isn't it? I'm assuming there's no shouldering, but this one isn't got shouldering.
John, they get their mix from you? B&B?
I assume so. They'd have to go pretty far away for somebody else. But can't comment on them, but we use our full paving crews and full shaping crews.
Yeah, they do a nice job.
With, we're full union burden, so.
Yeah, but it's double the price.
Best is let me talk to B&B first before you award.
Yep, there's nothing, there's
Yeah, it doesn't
no,
really explain much.
did anybody else want to look at these? We won't make a decision tonight, but I'd like to just have them open and you guys all know what the prices are, but
Commission
we'll,
one time, they hauled the
What are
patch
we
here.
supposed to do that
They
this
did
year?
this patch and they hauled that
yeah,
patch down back.
we have them,
Is that what they
Because
do
our
on
next
these here?
board meeting's not till
Is
November.
that what they do on here
Mhm.
also?
You have
Yeah.
that budget one.
You can have that.
That makes a difference.
okay.
I know you don't wanna start adding stuff to it. because
Yeah,
that-
but this would be pretty short. I think we can make this decision on September 5th because our next meeting is September, when? It's while I'm gone.
Yeah,
So,
The problem with that though is if you hold off, these guys are gonna want to probably, if they had an opening now, they'd want to get it now.
yeah, September 5th would be a week and a half,
Oh, in a week and a half? Okay.
right? Or is it 2
John,
weeks?
does that bother you at all?
I don't think so.
Good,
All right.
because he'd be the one to get it if they don't work.
Right. Okay, yeah, we'll do it, we have a budget meeting set for September 5th, so we can make that decision on September 5th, if that's all right with you.
No, that's fine,
All right,
understand.
because there's quite a big difference there, and I kind of like to
About double
explore.
price.
Yeah, I'd like to explore why. Okay, I need a motion for that, so please.
Make a motion to, table the asphalt patch bid, decision until our September 5th meeting.
Okay, I
Make that
have
motion.
a motion by Josh to table the asphalt bids until we can, look into a little closer. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by Carl. All those in favor?
Alright.
Aye. Okay, that is done. Thank you very much for coming.
If you have any questions, let me give me a shout.
I don't have any questions
Unless you wanna cut it down a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's
They
the same
basically
thing.
says the same thing, this just says what they're not gonna do.
Right,
Right.
but there's gotta be something.
There's a big
that's-
difference in price.
Yeah, look at that, that's a double.
I know, but everything they're saying they're gonna do, they're saying they're gonna do.
I read the same thing,
Every-
2 inches asphalt patch, 10 patches.
Okay, we'll,
Everything else is just what they're not going to do.
I think we've had them guys a few years ago.
B&B?
They didn't do too
I
bad.
thought they did a pretty good job.
Huh?
I thought they did a pretty good
They
job.
did. I just wanna talk to them and just,
Yeah.
that's all I wanna do.
Okay,
Is that all right? Is that fair?
yep, that's fine with me. Rest of the board, you okay with that?
They keep, when that happens, that keeps everything honest.
You're not from B&B, are you?
No. Okay, updates since,
Doug, are you gonna be at the September 5th meeting then?
Yeah. What is the date on that?
September 5th?
It's a Thursday,
Yeah, should be.
6 o'clock, right?
I got 5:30,
5:30?
so what I got written down.
What did you have, Paulette? You're the one who,
You know, I'd have to look back at my notes from.
okay. We'll verify and get back to all you guys. You know them?
Oops, there's yellow, sorry.
Oops, this goes with B, please. Oops. There we go. All right, next, we'll hear from the constable.
So I have a report, only a couple complaints last month and 1 citation issued.
Do we have any questions on the list?
It'll be on this month.
Oh.
It was like the second month I issued them.
Any
Is
questions?
this the multiple, this, South Young Street?
Just so one that no one will call me back on.
Is this the one that's ongoing that we have, okay. So we're gonna keep going now.
Until someone can give me something to go off of.
Why don't you make the announcement and then we'll talk about this,
Oh, yes.
about the gentleman we talked to today.
Oh, we did find an attorney replacement for me. David Knappen will be, I guess, my attorney for the time.
Yes,
Well, and I met with him
yeah,
today.
he's very, very nice.
And
I
I
was,
gave you the credit.
Are we talking about the same David? I don't care for that guy.
he's really super nice. But maybe this is something we should talk to him, this would be one of the first things we talk to him about, because this is an ongoing issue and we don't want it to get out of hand.
I just have no evidence. I have nothing.
Correct, yes, and, let's see how we can proceed, maybe we can get someone else involved, that's the deal.
I went and talked to the sheriff about this and everything already. I've been in contact. They're in the same boat, the humane officer. Until we have somebody who can give us something, we have nothing,
Pictures, something, huh?
something.
Okay,
And I did talk to the one who complained about it, and she said that she was gonna talk to the neighbors and they were gonna work on getting proof.
perfect.
So,
I
but
did,
Then,
I talked to the adjoining neighbor myself, and
That's
she
okay.
said she knows that to be a fact, but she says, I don't want to get involved, basically. So it does take people to get involved,
Yeah.
so,
My hands are tied until I have something further,
okay,
unfortunately.
all right. Any other comments or questions? Thank you, Brandon, you're excused if you would like. Building inspector, we have a report from Josh. Looks like we have 1 new home, 3 remodels, couple sheds. In talking to a couple of banks, construction is slowing down a little bit, but they think it's gonna go right back up because interest rates are coming down a little bit. So I don't know if that's affecting our construction. It looks about the same as when I was here, so. Anybody have any comments?
Was there a permit for another garage behind Grumpy's Garage?
that he wanted to?
Yeah,
He's in the process, okay, so he did approach both myself and the building inspector, and that property is commercial. He wants to move in a building. He says it's just for storage. So Josh and I have been talking, and I forgot what we determined,
And I
Josh.
also talked to him, I said that I wanted him to come to the September meeting. of the
Okay.
Plan commission with, I worded it
A
as
site plan?
business expansion plan,
Perfect,
is what I called it,
perfect.
cause I'm professional at this, so. Yeah, he said it's just for storage, no electricity, no water, gravel floors. He basically wants to take down the building that's somewhere else and put it up on his property.
Yeah.
And I said that I didn't see the planning commission having an issue with that, but, I wanted him to bring in a plan anyway.
Right.
go through the proper steps.
Right.
And I'd like to see pictures of the outside to make sure that the building is structurally, looks good,
Okay.
so, yeah.
Laura, if I may?
Yeah.
This ties into the building inspector as well as me. I had an idea, and I guess, I don't know the legalities or anything behind it, but I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on having like a Google Doc or Excel spreadsheet that we could all access. There's no communication or nothing, but basically where Josh, or who, do you issue fence permits or does he? Building permits, fence permits, where
We-
basically all would go in there.
Josh,
So instead of me seeing a fence go up and wondering, I wonder if they got a permit for it, well, I could just open the file, oh, yep, there is one there.
there is a document like that. I started it when I first started becoming a building inspector. It sits on the corner of the desk in
Okay.
that office.
Yeah, but
It's a-
Josh has one, because he invoices us
Yes.
in Google Docs. So I'm wondering if possibly we could
You
get.
can make it public so that nobody can,
Like, all my stuff is through
Yeah.
Google Docs, and I can send a link, like, I can send it to you, and you
Yeah.
can just view it.
I didn't know he had it in Google Docs. So-
Yeah, because he sent so I'm wondering if he might be able to, as he gets his permits, automatically put in, but he gives me a monthly one. He'll have to name one maybe for all ongoing permits.
Yeah, I mean, all it'd be
Yeah.
is an address and a name and what they're doing. It'd take
Yeah.
them 2 seconds to add that in, and then if someone's driving past something and sees it, like, oh, they're adding on their house,
Yeah.
I don't see a building
Just
permit
give
out.
certain people access to it.
Yeah,
Sure. I'll mention that to him. That's a good idea.
that's all I had. I'll excuse myself.
Maybe you should stick around, maybe you'll have more.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for today. Zoning administrator. I don't know what to touch on. We've had some really different issues here in the town lately in regards to signs, utilizing of storage buildings for businesses, businesses wanting to come in, but they don't know what they want to do. They want us to advise them. It's just been a really strange month, but we're trying our best to advise people the route that they can go. But there's a lot of interest in Saratoga now for construction of businesses and expansion of businesses. I'm really glad to see that. I'm not gonna touch on the plan commission. I'll let Josh do that. So I think going forward, it's just answering questions and helping people along as they approach the town. Yes,
You think the interest in business is because of all the storage sheds we're building?
I think the interest is in businesses because of a lot of factors.
But that's gotta be a factor, because them are popping up and people are,
Well, a storage building in itself, these storage buildings,
no, I mean these, this like
Self-storage.
Al's building,
oh, those,
yeah.
he seems to be the only one doing that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them here, maybe it.
Right. It's telling, and I actually had a call on that this week. A guy said, I am looking to bring a business to Saratoga, but where can I put it? Because he wanted put a commercial business on 64th Street? And I said, no. And he says, well, there anything available? And I said, hey, call this guy. He says, oh, I've heard of him. So the word is out there that he's building these and that potentially businesses could come in. But a lot of it is, now that there's no funding for these people who aren't working, I think people are starting to say, hey, I don't have a job now and I gotta do something and I don't wanna work for somebody else, I wanna start my own business. So I think that's what's prompting a lot of these businesses, startup businesses anyway. So that's my perception. I'm not sure how anybody else feels. Any other questions? Everybody good? All right, let's move on. Road crew. We'll start with Tom.
Oh,
What's going on out there?
finished up on the shouldering. You know, obviously the road projects, Yorkshire, Miller,
Yes,
on top of the conversation, so hopefully that'll be paved this week.
Okay.
Yorkshire,
So you might wanna talk about your radiators and
Yeah.
stuff you're doing,
yeah. So in
batteries.
yeah, I've been doing maintenance on trucks and stuff like that. With casting being off, so I just been out brushing and stuff like that, and right of ways, and you know,
Okay.
division triangles, trying to establish them back to where they should be, and so.
and next week, hopefully coming up, we're gonna have some gutters replacements and modifications over on the old town building, so you guys are gonna be tearing off the
Yeah, what's,
soffit and
what is
gypsum.
it, the date as far as when they'll,
26th, the week of the 26th, if it's approved tonight by the board, they want to start doing that. And then also, the sign base, we've decided to put in just a footing and then 3 rows of landscape block, and then fill it with stone and maybe put a couple shrubs in the middle. Something simple, but kind of
Sure.
classy,
For the sign out front?
yes. So, the guys are gonna be working on that too.
Yeah. it would be nice to have a
Fence?
fence there.
Put a fence across.
so as part of the time needed to remove that gutter,
Yes,
could that be done on Monday?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, could I ever have taken it down, you know, an assistant to hold that up while it's
Sure.
being dismounted?
I really didn't realize that Caston wasn't here this week until he called me today and
You didn't
said,
know he was missing?
no, I did not. I don't police him, but
Went through this property.
he called me and I said, then he mentioned halfway through the conversation that he was on vacation. I said, why are you calling me?
Sure.
Yeah, Tom's been communicating with me pretty good, he's,
Okay,
like, he's asked.
I appreciate that, Tom, taking up the slack.
Double the pay, I'll do it.
I did check on those trees. You asked me to check on those
Yeah.
overhanging trees on Testerville. And I see that maybe we should contact Alliant and have them trim the trees. But if I remember right, they do that very late in the fall. They trim those trees.
If it's an oak tree, yeah, them are in the winter time.
Well, this was arborvitae and there was oak. There was some oak.
Yeah,
They probably won't touch oak until.
But I'd like them to see what they look like to get that on their schedule. But there are a lot of them that we have to do.
yeah.
I mean, that's in our road right away that are really hanging over the
Yeah.
road.
I just don't know if it's already in the power line, if they may bump that up to getting it done before it's an issue.
You could,
I don't know.
It's in the power line, it's pushing it down already,
Well, I'll contact them
yeah.
tomorrow. I'll put that on my list. And I'll ask them to go out and visually look.
Yeah, yeah. Before they gotta remove the tree after the service has been ripped out of the
Yeah,
house,
yeah,
so.
yeah. I seen that happen already, yeah. Okay, I'll get a hold of them. Do you have anything else for us, Tom?
No, no, when we buy parts, do you know, look for getting a price on certain things, you know? Is there a dollar amount that you wanna seek a quote?
What kind of parts? I
Well,
mean, are they parts
yeah,
to
no, we
repair
bought-
a truck or
Yeah,
are
like we
they?
bought batteries, you know, I just told us go over to Chris and buy batteries for the dump truck,
Yeah,
for the 03 truck.
yeah,
Okay, now I've gotta buy steer tires for the 05 truck.
okay.
Now, do you just go to Cheryl, do you call
I,
Matthews?
if I were Caston, I'd be calling around to get the best price.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's what I would do.
Even call the county, they may have a good price on tires.
Oh, see?
Yeah, just
Don't
call
forget to
around.
ask.
You know, they buy it in bulk, so
Right,
you might be able to do better.
We rely on Caston to, you know, get the best price he can for the town, because, you know, he's the head guy, so
Sure.
we would like him to shop around, that would be appreciated, so,
Mhm.
yeah.
I know the tractor tires I got from Cheryl for the mower tractor, and, you know, I don't think we got any quotes, I think it's, you
Yeah.
know,
Always good to check.
right,
Yeah,
right.
I
Yeah,
just-
that's why, you know,
Just,
just,
just pretend it's your money and you're shopping for groceries.
right. Yeah, I don't, half a cart full maybe.
Yeah, isn't that the case? So, yeah,
One of the, I was talking about batteries, and I didn't know this happened, but one of my friends, and I don't mean to take up your time, but he was looking for a Delco battery. And he Googled it, it was $200 in Rapids, $125 at Menards, same battery.
oh, yeah, yeah.
I bought a steer tire from Matthews, West Side, $50, brand new one.
You are right about the battery, because I bought one for my UTV, and I went to Menards, and I think I paid like $30, and everywhere here in Rapids it was 60,
And I
even
don't know,
Walmart.
I don't know a whole lot about that, but I think there's only a couple battery makers out there, so they're all the same battery,
Yeah,
just a different name for
Mhm.
them.
yeah. Anything else, Tom?
No, I think it's business as usual, so.
Wealth of information, thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody have any questions for Tom? All right,
How about me?
Douglas, I have your name here.
All right, Camilla's paved, I don't know if you folks got a chance to take a look at that, but that looks really nice. Evidently, they're having some plant issues that they can't get asphalt out of Rapids, and that's where it's coming from.
Okay.
So they paved Camilla, and then they were supposed to come back the next day. Somehow that got canceled. And I understand that they have schools that they have to get open and things like that, but we're getting lengthy here, so. Anyway, I've talked to Kevin today, and they're supposed to be paving Yorkshire probably Tuesday of next week now. These are all tentative, because
Yeah.
that'll change.
Sure,
And then they'll start regrading, we did regrade Mill because it was Washboardy, was that Monday?
right,
Tuesday,
Yeah,
something like
right.
that.
Yep.
It's much better
Yeah.
now. Paving Mill, Kevin said, could be Thursday, Friday of next week. They'll pave Yorkshire early, the day before or something like that, kind of in concession then. I know on your agenda you have Wilderness on there. I did mark that today, and we can have that pulverized tomorrow if you guys approve it.
okay,
And then paving shortly after that. And with Wilderness, just to keep the cost down, these folks here, your in-house folks are going to shoulder that if you approve it, so.
good to know.
That's all I had.
Okay, I did talk to the county today on Z.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that one too.
That's getting bad. The reason that it's so long is that, remember when Roland was in here and he told us that they were getting a very substantial grant from the Indian Nation?
BIA,
That hasn't come through yet.
it's through, but it's not signed.
Okay. I talked to John today, and he said too, he said, Roland didn't think it was gonna take that long, but it has. And he says, I can't even give you a date. And I said, but you promised before school started. He says, well, things happen, and I get that.
I talked to him earlier, and he had said it, but I took it that, they said they've got the contract. They get it, but then the BIA has to sign it and approve it, and that hasn't been approved. It will be approved, but it's just taking time. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, I do go down there because I wanna see if they're doing anything, and yesterday they did fix the bridge, the culvert, if you wanna call it that.
Yeah, I don't know what they did.
They fixed the culvert because you could only get through one lane, and so they did make it passable,
That's where they extended that concrete
Yes.
that they had to cure.
yes. And the problem is that there are a lot of people using that road, and they are knocking over the signs. I mean, and they're destroying the signs, that's vandalism, so.
We did catch those individuals.
Thank you, that was not
That's typical.
appreciated.
Good job.
I'm glad you caught him. Good job.
I did, but the department did. I was sleeping.
Well, thank your department, because that was good, because, you know, all it takes is one person to go through there not knowing that that has been a road. and-
Saratoga Cranberry has actually helped out quite a bit with that, and helping keep an eye on video footage and stuff like that for us, so.
Oh dear.
Sawyer can see a lot on top of that
Yeah,
hill.
it helps out a lot, so.
Good, good deal. So that's kind of where Z is going. We were hoping to have it done by school, but not quite sure that's gonna happen. Anybody else have any questions on the road? Anything for Doug?
We've been busy. A lot
Yeah.
of things going.
Yeah, we got a lot of road construction underway,
Yeah.
not only in our own
You know,
town, but neighbors too.
You do get calls on dust and things like that, that's all part of it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, you know, sometimes on the patches, I know you had some complaints on them. I realize that, and I don't think they're that bad, to be honest with you. I've traveled over them a lot, because I do watch
Yeah.
them, and these guys do a good job keeping them up. But if you don't let them settle, it's gonna be worse in a long range. So, you know, what we're doing is the right thing. And it's signed properly, so if it's signed with loose gravel, bumps, everything you need, so everybody should be aware that you can't go 45, is that the
Right.
speed limit on there? You should slow down for that.
Right. And you know, I do have to say, you know, a lot of people complain, they want their road done, they want their road done, they want their road done. Then we do the road and then they complain because their road is being done. You
Well, then
can't
you
have it
to
both
get
ways.
enforcement on them after that.
Yeah, well, you just can't have it both ways. You gotta have a little patience when the road is being done. It takes time, because everything has to settle and be compacted and get wet and the whole bit. So patience is really, really needed. All right, anybody else? Anything for roads? Okay, you guys are excused if you wanna go. or please.
Any other items you want me to stick around for?
I do,
Your trailer.
Audit,
yeah, the
Yeah.
trailer.
That trailer.
Yes.
Trailer.
Yes, please. That
Yeah.
would be appreciated, thank you. Moving on, Plan Commission, Josh.
alright, so, item number 7 and number 19, I believe, on today's agenda is stem from the Plan Commission. We're working on sign ordinance and zoning ordinance reviews. Working on some town building updates. We currently have 3 CSMs and 1 business expansion plan on our next agenda. We found out at the last week's meeting that we're losing a Plan Commission member due to a relocation. So we're in the process of finding a replacement for that individual.
Yes, so if you're interested in being on the Plan Commission, having a say and helping the town to have a path for the future, please contact one of us board members and let us know that you're interested, and we'd love to hear what you got to say. Anything else, Josh? Anybody?
I don't believe so. If we do have somebody come forward, that's an appointment by you, correct?
Yes, that is an appointment by myself, the chairperson.
Okay.
Chairman, whatever you wanna call me, I'm fine with. But we'd like to, realistically, we'd like to get a varied person, and we really need somebody with some commercial background, like commercial business, or just a business background, because we're kinda lacking that. So it would be nice if somebody is a business owner that lives in the town of Saratoga, and wants to have some say in what goes on. Please call me, ask. We have an opening. Anything else?
That's all I got. Did I miss anything?
I think you got it. I think you got it. All right, moving on, clerk.
August 31st, the transfer site will be closed. It's going into the holiday weekend. And then we've got the few dates up here, the clean sweep on September 7th, the electronics recycling September 28th, and October 5th is the bulk drop-off. And then we do have the Wisconsin Towns Association Conference in October in Stevens Point, so if anybody is wanting to go, let me know so we can get registered.
Did you guys all get that email you sent, right?
Everybody should have gotten an email on
Yeah.
it. If not, let me know when I can
Yeah.
forward it. But it was October 6th through the 8th.
Yeah,
At the
please
Holiday Inn and Point.
look at the agenda. These are really, really good. You don't have to stay overnight. I mean, in fact, being that we're that close, you can drive back and forth. Yes, Douglas?
On the agenda, do they have anything on signing? I was thinking for these guys.
I don't remember
Oh, you mean
offhand.
on at the town association?
Yeah, I don't remember. I got the book on my desk too.
There was
Keep
some
these
other
guys in mind
topics.
when you see that stuff.
For sign,
Yeah, signing's important. I know we talked a little bit about that, and I tell them as much as I know, which isn't much, but they need to know more.
all right. Thank you, I'll keep that in mind.
Anytime you find one.
I think it was sent to Caston though.
Yeah.
This I don't think, but I can look
Okay.
at the agenda and
All
see.
right.
So Paula, if you see something that has signing or
Okay.
anything pertaining to these guys, make sure they see
Okay.
it. It's pretty important.
All right, and you already brought up the recycling events. Everybody out there in TV land, please pass the word. We need volunteers, plus the events are here and they're free. Bring your junk. Don't leave it in the ditches and don't leave it in somebody else's yard. Bring it here.
Can I ask you?
Yes,
When I bought my land out there, somebody was dumping out and back. You know that fire lane that runs
Okay.
behind my 40?
okay,
Big screen TV, computer
yeah,
monitor.
you bring them in.
All right.
It's free. When we have the
28.
electronics, just bring it in here and
Okay.
yeah, and you can register online. Paulette's gonna set up the site again. You just register once, no matter if you've got a truckload, a trailer load, 2 trailer loads, just register once.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, please.
And that should, my goal is to have that up on the website next week. So
Yeah,
it's not out there quite yet.
yeah, give us a little bit to get it out there because she's had a heck of a week. In this office, we've had a real rough week. Just not bad, just a lot of stuff going on. Anybody else have any questions for Paulette?
Can you resend me that email?
All right, treasurer, that would be you, Billy Joe?
Yeah.
WT.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Audit tonight, Brandon did send out letters, or citations, excuse me, I believe it was 8 or 9 residents, received citations for non-licensing of their dogs. So,
I've heard you had a couple of phone calls,
I have,
a couple exciting phone calls,
Mhm.
but it goes like that, right?
it does, it goes with the territory.
We appreciate it, you let the water run off your back, as they say.
Yep. Yep, gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody have any questions for Elijah? Okay. Informal announcements by board members. I have one. We have our attorney retiring, Bob Krishak, and we'd like to thank him publicly for helping us all these years. And we also have a card I'd like to pass around and send to him, so everybody can sign it. Informal announcements, anything else? Town of Rome invited our plan commission, for a special meeting that they're gonna have a speaker, and he's gonna address plan commission members to give them some bullet points. I thought that was really nice of Town of Rome to invite us. So, and we actually have 6 people that wanna go, so our plan commission is very, very active and supportive, so that's really nice. I think that's all I got. Anybody, anything you wanna talk about?
I got one question.
Yes,
What would it take to lower speed limits
Oh.
south of Wisconsin Rapids here?
an act of God,
Okay,
it's really
It-
difficult.
past country sports and stuff in there.
Yeah.
It's getting built up more.
If I remember correctly, previously, Doug, can you correct me if I'm wrong? To lower a speed limit, you have to have a study done of traffic counts and,
That's not an easy task.
yeah,
They don't go just by because there's more and more accidents. They actually have to do a.
They
Well, that's
do-
part of the study.
that's part of the study, but
And then you have to have an engineer do a design. It's not something you really wanna get into.
Is there any plans of changing Highway 13 south by country sports area at all?
I mean, as far as the future?
As far as the future goes.
You
No,
could,
I don't think so,
you
as far
could-
as changing the 4 lanes or something.
Right, yep. Widening, anything like that, turn lanes, nothing.
you could talk to Roland Hawk. You know, on the tail end of that, I have noticed the traffic on A Street is horrendous. It's getting really bad. I don't know if it's because of the influx of people from Rome, or if it's the time of year or what it is,
And I
but,
think Z's shut down too.
I was just gonna say.
Oh,
So it's
you-
funneling everybody there.
Oh, okay.
Especially when Port was closed and now the construction in the Coosa, I think
Oh.
that's
That's
what
what's
more people are going to.
oh, good point, yeah,
So
good
it-
point.
I can tell you that bigger is probably not gonna happen. You look at what they did in Nakusa, they went from 4 lanes
Oh, yeah.
to 2. So that, our traffic counts are probably down, and you're right on this.
Okay, I never thought of that, Brian, thank you. Yeah, that's a true statement. So I guess,
Act of God.
well, pretty much, but you could talk to, I think Roland Hawk would be his first stop if he,
For changing, he's gonna tell you the same thing I just
Yeah.
told you.
Okay,
but
all right.
it still wouldn't hurt to have a conversation
That's fine, yeah.
if you wanted. That's the first person I go to.
You know, they're gonna do an accident study, all of that, and if you don't have that in your back pocket, good luck with that.
And we would have to pay for that study, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, there was a pretty bad accident about a month ago down there. So,
On Highway 13?
yeah,
Oh, you're talking about changing the speed limit on 13?
yeah,
That's a DOT question.
okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't talk to Roland on that, you'd have to get hold of the Department of
It's a state.
Transportation.
they lowered it though over by Rome for a little ways.
They
But that
might-
was because of the stoplights, wasn't it? That was
Could
because of
be.
the intersection. Yeah, that is.
And through their business park is
Yeah.
45.
They usually on them roads like that, they have what's called a 20-year plan. So, and they predict the transportation, and I may be wrong on all that, but that, your speed limit question on that would be a DOT question.
Ask my brother's house.
They'll give you an answer right away on that one.
Good.
I know when we, you know, cause we'll go and dump and stuff with the campers and a lot of times, it's,
Harry,
yeah.
yeah. I know coming out of Ranger onto the highway right now is really, really
Yeah,
bad.
it's- Yeah.
But I think,
Yeah, I don't like coming out of there.
yeah, I don't know how to fix that. I mean,
Turn down Shady Pines and go up and.
Larry Avenue, I mean, they're all bad
Yeah.
coming onto that highway, but that's how
When I
it
come
is.
out of Ranger and go to the south, I don't like it.
No.
You're going the other way, so that's the same.
Come off
as
a
what I
town
am.
line, Douglas.
What's that?
Come off a town line.
Oh, that's really bad.
Yeah, that's always been, we discussed that one.
That's a horrible corner.
There's a hill there.
Yep.
Yeah, they should really slow that traffic down there.
Yeah, we talked
That's
about that, but
horrible.
when they redid that road, all of the questions you folks just asked, they were aware of every one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I am interested to see how Z is gonna turn out, because I personally don't think it's gonna work, but they did a study and they feel that turn lane on that curve is gonna alleviate a lot of accidents.
Mary.
Hopefully, they're right.
July.
Any other information? We'll try to move along as fast as possible. I'm sorry, guys, we got that audit. I'd like to keep us moving. Approval of the previous minutes. Did everybody have a chance to read the minutes? Brian, you weren't here, correct?
I was not.
Okay.
I didn't see anything when I read through them.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I'll make a motion to approve the July 17th, board meeting minutes.
All right, I have a motion by Josh to approve the minutes,
July
Second.
17th.
and I have a second for Wednesday, July 17th, 2024 meeting minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Those against? Okay, motion passes,
And,
I abstain.
because he wasn't here. Yep. All right. We hope you had a good time with your family,
I
right?
did.
Good. Rezoning request.
well,
Oh.
I'll make a motion to approve the Board of Review minutes for Wednesday, June 24th, which is when it started, and then it was adjourned on July 17th.
Okay, I have a motion by Josh to approve the Wednesday, June 24th Board of Review minutes with the ending of July 17th, 2024. Do I have a second?
I wasn't here for the first part, but the second part I was.
I guess I can, because I'm technically a voting member board review, so I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion by Josh and a second by Paulette. All those in favor?
Right?
Aye. Okay, that passes. Sorry, I missed that one, thank you. Now, let's move on to the rezoning request by Quality Control Solutions to rural preservation. So you're all aware of this. This is on the curve over on 73 where they rerouted Mill Avenue. And being that it's on the highway, there is no access allowed per the highway. So if it ever did become a business entity, the only way they could access that property is by branding Iron Court, and that road was built to withstand traffic. So this is in our future land use, our future plan to go to commercial. The Plan Commission looked at it and reviewed it and made a recommendation to the board to approve it, and now I'm asking the board to look at it and tell me what they would like to do. Josh, maybe you can tell us what their hesitancy or their belief was.
Their hesitancy to approve this at the plan commission level was because of no access to the property that they want zoned highway commercial, or changed from rural preservation to highway commercial. There's no access to it from 73. The DOT, because it's in the curve, the DOT won't allow a driveway there. There's no turn lane, there is actually a turn lane on to Brandon Iron Court, but that's a town road, not a commercial, or not a state road, so if there was any commercial traffic on that property, it would have to go on our town road. We previously had another rural preservation get changed to highway commercial, and it was, I'm gonna say, half of 40,
Yep.
off of 13 on Evergreen Avenue, and there was hesitation there as well because of the commercial traffic on the town road of Evergreen. With the Evergreen parcel, similar to this parcel, we don't have any business plan at this point for this property, so nothing may go there. We don't know at this point, so. They're merely asking for a zoning change from rural preservation to highway commercial with no plans to develop it at this point, so we really have no reason to not let them zone it how they want. If they ever were to decide to put a business on this property, they would have to come to the plan commission with a business plan, and then we would address the town road traffic and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Anybody have any questions?
You did say the intersection was built up to
Well,
handle that?
they used to be 73, so that
So it's,
did withstand, I mean, that more than Evergreen is more of a commercial road than
Right.
anything.
okay.
I mean, that one, I know Laura and I talked to me about that, and I would have no reservation on that road. I mean, it's,
Also mentioned during the plan commission meeting is Brandon Iron Court has the base of the old highway
Yeah.
underneath the majority. Or you just said that when I was writing here? Okay. Sorry. I just want to reiterate.
Well, I needed to hear it in both ears, so that's all right.
What kind of traffic do they have on that future use? Would it be semi, just,
Word that-
Yeah, it could be, but we can't address that. We can only address the land itself, not what
Could be.
the potential.
Right.
But we just know that in our future land use map, it does direct us to make this commercial for the zoning. It's supported that way, so we don't know what's going on it. We don't know if anything's gonna go on it. It's just that the person who owns it, the company that owns it, wants it commercial. For all intents and purposes, they could just put a storage building on there.
sure, porta potty, yeah.
Yeah? Don't know. So, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the rezoning request.
Okay, I have a motion by Carl
With all
I'll
the
second.
legalities.
to approve the rezoning of 1800287A from rural preservation to highway commercial. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by Brian. All those in favor?
Right?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Okay. Concrete waiver for Dan Mansell at 5331 Church Avenue. And he is aware that it has to be registered. and-
Yep, I've got everything filled out. Yep.
And this is a residential parcel, okay?
Make a motion to approve the concrete waiver for Dan Mansell at 5331 Church Avenue.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Josh and a second by Brian to approve the concrete waiver for for Daniel Mansell at 1800206L, 5331 Church Avenue. All those in favor?
Right?
Aye.
Those against? Okay, motion passes. Number 9, future brush cutting plans. This was asked to be put on here by Chase, and unfortunately, he couldn't make it tonight because he's just overwhelmed at work right now. It's his high season. But the idea is, and you'll have that as a separate handout in your folder, when we received that grant from Firewise, part of it was that we were going to do some brush cutting on certain roads. It's at the bottom of the sheet, and we did not do that. So we did not get that part of the grant. So that is something that we have to look at. And then there are some other roads in the town that need to be addressed. This time, we would like to do it a little different. First of all, maybe we'd like to notify the people that this is gonna be done on their property, and then give them the opportunity to cut it themselves. And maybe entertain hiring another company to do it other than the county. And so, basically, I just wanted to bring that forward tonight for discussion. Or actually not for discussion, but for the notice. And then when Chase comes back, you guys can hear what his ideas are, because he did get some bids. And
Estimates?
estimates, yes, sorry, estimates. But we do really have to solidify what roads we're gonna look at and what areas, not exactly what roads, there are some areas. Yes,
Suggestion, when you do that, when you do your annual meeting,
yes,
announce it then. Even with your road program, everybody knows.
okay, good idea.
And then you've got time, they can bring questions forward. That's what the annual meeting's really for.
Good idea, thank you. So anyway, that's about all I got to say about that.
Can I-
Yeah, yes, I'm sorry.
That ATV road behind my place there,
Yes,
there's people cutting, and they're taking down some really nice oak trees.
okay, it's not the ATV club that's cutting, I can tell you that.
Because I mean.
I
they're
have
just
no
cutting
idea,
trees
but I
where
know
they're
it's
just
not the
laying
club.
Right there, they're not doing, I mean, and that logger, he's gonna get hot when he sees what they did to him.
It is not the club that's cutting. I know that for a fact.
All right.
I had a meeting last night and
I didn't know,
they
you
mentioned that.
know, and I just,
Yeah.
I went back around the other day and I'm like, holy
They've
smokes.
noticed it too, but it's not them.
I mean, they're oaks like this big they're
Yeah.
taking out. And they're way off, like 7 foot, 10 foot away from the trail.
Mhm. Have you ever talked to the ATV club? You should have a conversation with them because it seems like there's some discord there.
Well,
And they
you
might be
said
able,
something that would interest me, you know, and that would be, I could clear it,
no,
my land?
oh, you can do whatever you want on
Right,
your
right,
land,
right,
but,
right.
yeah. But I know the club doesn't do anything. They don't even maintain their own, roads, their own trails.
No kidding.
No, they don't have the equipment, and there's no one person that is, I don't wanna say young enough, but, I mean, there's nobody there that really can do it, so,
Yeah.
yes, Doug.
So them trails, whose trails are they?
The individual landowners,
It's not an official UTV trail,
no, the UTV club doesn't,
otherwise it would be the county.
no, we don't maintain trails at all.
Somebody went through there. and
Yeah,
did-
it's
did a
not-
Pretty good job.
It's not them. Maybe it's the,
And
snowmobile
it's
club.
both sides of the trail.
Maybe it's the snowmobile club. Maybe they have the right to do that based on who owns the land. Maybe they gave them the right. I don't know. But I do know it's not the UTV club.
Okay, thank you.
You know, how would the UTV club, if it's not an official trail, how would they
Yeah.
clean it?
They don't, even on Sheldon's property, when the trail gets rough, they just call Sheldon, and then Sheldon goes out and fixes it for
Could
them.
it be something to do with the fire department?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't see either of them coming out to clear anything around a trail.
Right.
The only possible thing that I can think of is maybe the snowmobile club has made an agreement with the landowner, but I can promise you it's not the UTV club. But I'll get you the name of I'll get you Chris's phone number. He's the head of the UTV club, and if you ever have questions, he is very knowledgeable what's going on in the club. Okay. Gutter repair and replacement. Okay, so you guys have all seen the bids that we received last time, and we're gonna go with Pro Seamless if we got the answers to the questions that we had. Now, the questions that we had is, number one, could we change the color if we wanted to? What exactly were they going to do? And how much work would we have to do? So Tom and I have talked to them, and we had to move a couple gas lines, which we had done already. And we are tentatively scheduled for the 26th of this month, if we approve it tonight. If we don't approve it, then of course that goes away. This was the low bid. I was very impressed at what he was going to provide. Let's see, what else did I want to tell them? Was there anything that we were gonna tell them?
Just will be taking the gutter down
Yeah.
front, other than that. So
The-
did you pick the color then?
Well, that's up to these guys.
Yeah.
They said they could match it to the building, or match it to this color that we have here, or they could stick with the white. It didn't matter, the price was the same. I think we should match it to this, only because if we ever paint that building, we're gonna paint it the same color as this. Any discussion? Tom, can you think of anything that I missed?
No, it should've been something done years ago,
Yeah,
because the block is getting beat up from the water dropping 20-some feet. So there's structural issues that gotta be repaired. But we'll do that after the gutters.
Yeah. we're pulling the
How many
water.
bids did you get in? Or how many
3.
quotes?
3?
Yeah.
3, and this was the cheapest
Yeah,
one?
Oh,
leaf
this was-
filter, leaf guard, I think it was.
Yeah.
and
This is
so-
by far the cheapest. This was like half of the lowest one. Yeah.
Was the gauge, what was the gauge in that?
Oh, this was,
32.
.03, so it'd be,
And what were the other ones?
they were lighter.
Oh, they were?
Yeah,
All right, answered my question.
yeah, I did look at that right away.
Yeah, they're-
.03, .25 is a quarter, that's a heavy gauge.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's been a little stronger than what
Oh, God.
standard wood would be.
Yeah, he said we needed that because of the weight of the
No, I
water
like
coming
it.
off the roof,
Yeah.
so. He was very knowledgeable, and he gave us options of what we could do and what it would cost if they did it. And Tom felt that we could do the work that we agreed to do, pulling off the fascia and replacing it ourselves, and so we saved some money there.
All right.
So I need a motion.
Make a motion to accept Pro Seamless estimate at $6,060 for the replacement of the gutters on the town hall
Would you like to mention the color?
with the color matching the administrative office.
Okay, so what do you call it, beige?
I'm not sure what it's in that line, yeah.
we'll call it beige. Okay. Okay, I have a motion by Josh to approve the replacement of gutters and the installation of gutters that are missing on the town hall. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And Brian, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? All right.
Yeah.
One question on that,
Yes,
they're gonna be digging out that concrete and stuff.
yes,
Right.
eventually.
Would it be out of the question possibly to dig down about 4 feet and put some of that barrier, that fiberglass? They use it to cover up the insulation on the new builds.
Yeah,
It's like a fiberglass just a thin fiberglass.
like a house wrap?
Like a house wrap almost, but it's a rigid, almost like milk board
Oh, you're talking the,
For where?
from the top of the brick down 4 feet.
Oh, you're talking about under the concrete?
Yeah, when you pull the concrete,
Okay.
dig down
Well,
another 2-3 feet.
by code, the ground has to slope away from the building, but before they fill the ground, they're gonna put vapor
Right, but
retarder in there.
against the concrete.
Well, I don't wanna dig up against the building,
Well, that's what I was thinking, if a guy could just dig up,
go down
just
4
a shovel's
feet.
width wide, or even a couple feet.
I know
To
you're
the
talking
frost
about.
line.
Yeah, I don't know if it's already there.
Yeah, well, you won't be talking digging down very much. It
Well,
comes,
you don't usually put nothing there, you usually coat the concrete with a.
Right, with a paint,
Yeah.
yes, but this would take the place of the paint.
But if you did that, then you're creating a place for water, you're creating
Void.
a void where you're gonna get condensation.
Well, it'd be
in
right
there.
tight against the
Yeah.
concrete.
you glue it on, or you can use it's a plastic rivet to mount it on. Or you say you just wanna put like a thorough seal type product on there?
Well, just something to help seal off that concrete, cause it's,
I don't think
Getting
we'd have a
moisture
problem,
through.
yeah, but I don't think we'd have a problem if we would slope
just
the
keep the
ground
water away from it.
Yeah,
It should
because
dry
it's
on its
sand,
own.
Yeah, there's a lot of effervescence, they call it,
Yeah.
in the stairway.
yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of a natural process in a way.
Yep.
I haven't seen a real water damage down there. Nothing pooling on the floor.
No.
When it
No.
rains heavy, nothing like that, but.
No, it's in the spring that we have the biggest problem
Yep.
because of the freeze and thaw against the building where the snow is
I was
coming
just
in.
thinking, as long as he had it all ripped up, another couple feet down.
Yeah, you're talking groundbreaker, you call that.
Yeah, I think that's what they call
Yeah,
it,
it's
yeah.
called groundbreaker. And
Yeah.
only problem when you put against the building, to cap that off so water don't get behind that, which you could, put a bead of caulk on there, I
Yeah,
guess.
kinda tuck it up underneath the edge. is-
You'd have to put a metal flashing, an
Well,
L
they make a plastic
flashing.
cap for the top.
Yeah, well, you can get a metal L flashing too, and you can adhere that with,
Yeah, the only thing, again, you got another vertical,
I know,
so you
That's
go
what
from
it-
one
that's-
vertical to another.
yeah, that's my hesitancy.
It would, if you wanna put a cement product on it and repaint it afterwards,
It might be better instead of laying something against it to just seal it. I mean, what do we care if the sand gets into the paint?
Right.
I mean, it's gonna be buried.
yeah,
Oh, I don't know.
as long as you know structural
Tom,
problems.
you worked at Alton, what do you think?
Too many years.
Yeah, so what do you think?
It depends so actually we are gonna remove the concrete except for the walkway in front of this opening of the
Yeah.
doors.
But that's past the steps, so.
Yeah,
Well, the one right in front of the doorway does slant the right way. That does,
yeah, it's
Well,
not
so-
as good as it was when it was
Right.
installed. It is cracked and
yeah.
I wasn't throw a 6-foot level on it to look at it, but yeah,
I was just thinking of
that could
protecting.
take
it.
place this year. Are we doing that this year yet?
Yep,
Okay,
Next week.
next week?
Along with everything else.
no, I talked to Casson a couple months ago about it
Right.
already.
Right.
Yeah, no, that was,
Just not done yet?
it was.
Spare time?
Yeah. No donuts for you guys.
Okay, that's all right.
No, I thought it was gonna be done,
I love
maybe,
Well, you know.
I forget you're a police officer, I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe, I don't
He
know.
was waiting for something, what was he waiting for?
Well, you probably wanted to get through elections, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Oh, that was, but, and there, I thought there was one other thing that he
Then you
said
got
he was.
another election come, so you want it done before.
yeah.
You're right.
There was
Yeah.
something he was specific